Right, we're here today to talk about RPOs, specifically for RPOs the Packers ran against the Seahawks this past week, week 10 of the 2021 season. So, I'm sure everyone knows what an RPO is, but what it stands for is run pass option. Not every play fake you see is an RPO. Generally, when you look for an RPO, is you're looking at the offensive line. You're looking for them to do some run blocking and likely getting upfield. And because of that, then the passing game needs to happen relatively quickly, or else you get an eligible man downfield. And we're looking at four. This first one I picked because it's relatively standard, more or less, in terms of how the Packers tend to operate and how a lot of teams operate. And it's these horizontal RPOs. And so what we're going to see is we see Randall Cobb coming across here. Now we see him motion, and you can see this group here. No one really moves. There's a little shift, and so he's going to do this little orbit motion and come back over here. And so generally what you're looking for in these horizontal RPOs, you're looking for numbers. So when he comes back over, none of these guys shift, which means if you want to count that guy, you can count that guy, you can count that guy and that guy, and then you've got Cobb coming over here as well. So you've got 3 on 2, my numbers are bad, and then you throw it. You want your offensive players to outnumber the defensive players by a single man, and so it's a total post or pre-snap read. So you see that. I know I've got numbers. I'm just going to throw it over here because I know my guys can block their guys. I've got a one-man advantage, and that's what I'm going to do. And so that's what happens. That's your typical when we think of RPO, specifically what the Packers do. That's kind of a Packers RPO. And I say Packers. It's generally around the league. That's kind of how that is. This one's a little different. This is going to kind of inform some other stuff going forward now as well. And this is one I'm not entirely sure if this is an RPO. It looks like it probably is. It also looks like kind of a hot route read is kind of what's happening. And what's going to happen, and we're going to see, and this is kind of a late developing thing. I'm going to play this here for a second. And we're going to have, you can see right now, this guy is leaning. So he's going to come with slot pressure, which means when he's coming with slot pressure, Davante Adams is a free release. And so usually if you got pressure, it's a whole thing. I'm not getting into it, but a hot read, that hot route is that kind of, okay, if this guy's coming, this route is going to be quick. Snap your head around, look back. You're going into the void that was just created by the blitzing defender. It's the general idea behind these. Now, he's showing it, but he doesn't actually declare until late. And so on this specific one, Rodgers is going to kind of see it late. You can see him. We're going to watch Rodgers' head right there. You can see Rodgers. You're familiar with him. He's a quarterback. You can see him like, as he's going back, here we'll do that again. He kind of peeks and he sees that coming, but he sees it late. So instead of handing it out, you can see Aaron Jones has got his hands up. You see the lines kind of blocking, and they're looking to kind of get downfield and seal some blocks there. And then Rodgers kind of that late. You can see his feet nowhere near set because he was planning on sending that off, and he sees that late, so he goes to whip it over. This one doesn't work out. It is a knockdown, but you've got that slot pressure there. And that's what he's looking for there. Okay, so that's 2. The third one here, and this is then something the Seahawks are showing. So the Seahawks showed it once. Rodgers saw that. We're going to see it again. They bring slot pressure. Rodgers has got the option to hand off here, but instead he's just going to throw it to Adams, who's going to just kind of do another hot route there. So we're going to see this. We don't see the Packers attacking, and you can, he's showing right now. And so even before the ball is snapped, this is where cadence kind of gets you, and I've mentioned this before, but we think of cadence as a way for Rodgers to get guys to jump off sides. It's also a way to get the defense to declare their intentions before the ball is snapped. And then the same idea behind why sometimes you wait until there's very few seconds left on the clock, because the defense can only hold for so long. Anyway, he's showing here, he's declaring. And what that means when he's declaring and he's coming, there's a hole here. So you've now got this guy and then Adams. And so what that tells you is, okay, if he just does that there, unless, this guy buzzes over real fast or something like that, if he kind of angles that route out, you can't stop him. It's hard to stop Davante Adams anyway, but you're replacing where a defender wasn't. And so you can see that, bang, and then Adams makes a man miss and gets a few more yards out of it. And then they go back to it. Because the Seahawks did not learn their lesson. So we're gonna roll this. We'll see this guy declare. Rodgers peeks out, and you can see the ball is getting snapped now, and you can see already man coming. Rodgers kind of saw that before the snap, which means you now have this man out here. Adams runs a little kind of angled hot. You throw that, and you're good to go. Fake it, throw it past him. He's good. Easy yards, man. Like I said, usually when we see the Packers run RPOs, it is more that first one, that horizontal look. But with the Seahawks bringing slot pressure, we saw a lot more of this kind of vertical attacking the field, which I kind of enjoyed. If they're gonna show that, you take advantage of what they get you.